Core values of Chuck Berry. Did you know that Chuck Berry didn't just play rock and roll? He redefined what power, rebellion, and self-authority looked like in modern music? And more importantly, do you now understand why his life looked brilliant, controversial, misunderstood, and uncompromising all at the same time? Let's walk straight into his core value architecture, what the world saw and what actually drove him from within. External status versus internal status. Sun, ex-moon, internal status. Externally, Chuck Berry's sun in Libra made him a public architect of balance, but not moral balance, cultural balance. He stood at the intersection of black blues tradition and white mainstream America, translating one world into another through charm, rhythm, wit, and timing. The world didn't see him as soft. They saw him as smooth, controlled, calculated, charismatic. He didn't scream rebellion. He made rebellion danceable. But internally, his moon in Aquarius tells a very different story. Inside, Chuck Berry was never seeking belonging. He wasn't emotionally invested in approval. His inner dignity came from being different, not being accepted. This is why. He could stand alone without bands backing him. He could walk on stage, play, leave, no explanations. He didn't emotionally attach to legacy, praise, or even allies. Do you see the contradiction now? Externally, a bridge builder. Internally, a lone electrical current. That internal detachment is what allowed him to change culture without asking permission. External responsibility versus internal responsibility. Saturn, external responsibility. Jupiter, internal responsibility. Chuck Berry's Saturn in Aries forced responsibility onto him early, fast, harsh, and confrontational. Responsibility didn't come gently. It came through legal battles, authority conflicts, survival pressure, prove-it-now environments. He was expected to lead, perform, deliver without protection. That's why his public life looks combative at times, why he didn't bend easily to industry norms, why he resisted being told how to behave. But internally, Jupiter in Sagittarius shows what he actually answered to. Not rules, not institutions, not morality lectures. He was responsible to principles, freedom, truth, self-defined ethics, personal philosophy. This is why he never became a polished industry mascot, and why when he violated norms, he didn't collapse internally. He corrected himself philosophically, not socially. Do you now see why punishment never tamed him? Because you can't discipline someone who answers to belief, not fear. External action versus internal action. Mercury, internal action. Externally, Mars in Scorpio made Chuck Berry's actions sharp, private, and strategic. He didn't explain himself. He didn't soften his moves. He didn't waste energy. When he acted, it was precise, intense, final. This is why people often misunderstood him as secretive or extreme. He wasn't dramatic. He was surgical. But internally, Mercury in Libra shows where his real action originated. Inside, everything began with timing, wordplay, framing, rhythm of thought. This is the hidden genius behind his lyrics. They sound simple, but they're perfectly balanced provocations. Not preaching, not protesting, just placing ideas in your head and letting you dance with them. Do you now understand why his songs feel effortless but irreversible? Because the action happened in thought first, not in fists. Cause versus internal cause. Rahu, external cause. Ketu, internal cause. Externally, Rahu and Pisces pulled Chuck Berry into myth, projection, and confusion. The world didn't know what to do with him. They spiritualized him, demonized him, romanticized him, misunderstood him. He became a symbol instead of a man. And Rahu loves that kind of distortion. But internally, Ketu in Leo stripped all of it away. Inside, Chuck Berry was deeply uninterested in crowns, titles, or applause. He didn't crave legacy. He didn't crave validation. His internal cause was simple: self-sovereignty. I stand in my own light. I answer to myself. This is why he could walk away, why he could refuse, why he could stand alone without bitterness. Do you see the paradox? The world tried to turn him into an icon. Internally, he was already complete. External creation versus internal creation. Venus, internal creation. Externally, Venus in Aries made Chuck Berry a creator through initiation. He didn't perfect genres, he started them. Fast riffs, raw lyrics, unapologetic swagger. He created by moving first. But internally, Venus in Virgo tells us what happened over time. As he matured, creation became about precision, control, clean execution, correctness over popularity. He became selective, private, exacting. That's why later years feel quieter, tighter, more deliberate, not decline, refinement. Do you now understand why he never chased trends? Because internally, he was busy editing his own legacy. The core truth of Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry's life makes sense only when you accept this. Externally, he lived in conflict with systems. Internally, he lived in alignment with himself. That's why. Fame didn't soften him. Criticism didn't break him. Controversy didn't define him. He wasn't trying to be liked. He wasn't trying to be safe. He was trying to be free, correct, and sovereign, in that order. And that is why rock and roll didn't just survive him. It started with him. I shall see you in the next core value analysis of another celebrity. Meanwhile, take care and be safe.